Okay, here we are. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. And I don't think many of us expected to be here. Because if I told you in the beginning of the season, the conference finals would just be Indiana versus New York, you wouldn't believe me. If I told you in the first couple months of the season, October to December, that the Pacers would be the team in the Eastern Conference Finals, you probably wouldn't believe me. And understandable. But this was not a team that a lot of people thought would make it this far, especially with Tyrese Hali-Burton struggling early in the season. People didn't really think they were built for this. But since January 1st, since the beginning of this year, this Pacers team has been incredible. Top 10 offense, top 10 defense, and they're showing it now. Yeah, they're late bloomers, but what a time to bloom. Because, goddamn, a championship might be in sight for Indiana. And, of course, let's not get too ahead of ourselves. You should probably like the video and subscribe if you're here. That'd be cool. Have a good one. They still have to win this series. They still have to beat whoever comes out west, probably OKC, but New York are in a 3-1 hole now. And throughout this series, it feels like New York just can't keep up. One of the biggest problems I have with the Knicks, they're too one-dimensional in how they score. Once you push them onto their secondary options, territory options, then it's going to be a bit tough. Yeah, okay, Mikal Bridges might have a good game, OG might have a good game, but how reliable are they to have a good game compared to Cat and Jalen Brunson? Also, defensively, those two, like, you can cover a lot of things defensively in the NBA. One defensive liability on the court is already a bit too much. We saw this in the Lakers series against the Timberwolves. As good as Luka Doncic is on offense, teams will hunt him on defense, and that's what teams have been doing to Jalen Brunson. Every time Tyrese Hali-Burton, even not just in this game, but throughout the whole series, Tyrese Hali-Burton will get the switch onto Jalen Brunson and target him, make him play defense, because you know he can't. I mean, he's serviceable. At the end of the day, he is a undersized point guard. Yeah, I know they say he's 6'2". Jalen Brunson is like 5'11", man. That is the Chris Paul theory of height that we are following. And I just don't see it. I don't see it any more for the Knicks than I did when they beat the Celtics. And yes, fair enough, maybe Tatum going down with an injury was, not great for them. But they still managed to fight back from these leads and beat what people thought was a conference favorite. But on the flip side, so did Indiana. In this series, Indiana outclassing them. There hasn't been many points, bar Game 3, where it felt like the Knicks were in total control. Yeah, Game 1, they were ahead. The Pacers still took that 17-point lead and said, this is ours now. We're taking this one. This is our win. And they did. You could say that the pressure was on the Pacers going into this game. Of course, when you lose a game like they did Game 3, it's going to be annoying. The pressure is on you because you can't get this series back down to 2-2. If you want to close them out, this is the step to close them out. And it seems like Tyrese Hali-Burton ate pressure for breakfast. 32 points, 12 rebounds, 15 assists, 0 turnovers, 4 steals, 11 of 23 from the field, 5 of 12 from deep. Pascal Siakam heard me talk about how he's not a consistent offensive option, and I realize I'm wrong. And I think this is just the case of I don't watch too many Pacers games. A lot of the things I see are like from Pacers fans or like people, like even people detracting them. And based off my biases towards these players, yes, Pascal Siakam is great. Like, I think he's like a 3-time All-Star, and he's done that for a reason, right? It was blind of me not to see that he is their offense at points. When the ball bogs down and when you need a bucket, Pascal Siakam is their guy. I think Pascal Siakam is more consistent than I gave him credit for. So I'll put my hands up. I'm wrong. My bad. Jalen Brunson did have a good offensive night. Like, the thing is, he's just going to get hounded on defense. So it's tough. Do the points you score and like the points you're responsible for as a teammate, as a player, does that outweigh the amount of times you were scored on defensively, Brunson had a great night. 31 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 turnovers, 2 steals, 9 of 19 from the field. Cat, this is my beef with Cat, because I think that Cat is such a generational offensive talent. Like 99% of the teams in the league, bar Denver and maybe San Antonio, say we'd rather have Cat. And Cat is a great player. It's just, my God, these fouls are killing him. His inability to just be like, keep your hands to yourself. I think there was one play, he fouls Miles Turner for no reason, just grabs his arm. I don't think he's stopping the shot by any means. And then he'll complain about it. I don't know. It's frustrating, especially for players that good. When you get in foul trouble, you become a liability for your team. And then I don't think after that you can rely on OG and McHale in that way. They are players who are able to score, but that is not their bag. That is not their bread and butter. They're not the main options for these teams. And I think if I'm Rick Carlisle, I'm thinking, if I can get the ball out of Brunson's hands, and if I can get Cat in foul trouble, who else is going to step up? Josh Hart? No, not today. Josh Hart, 12 points, 11 rebounds, 1 assist, 5 turnovers. 17 turnovers for the Knicks in total. That is just not... You're not going to win games if you're turning the ball over that many times, especially from a guy like Josh Hart. They're playing him off the bench now, so he is there to provide some sort of offense, to keep the pace going, to keep the team flowing, and I get it. This team is not going to win that many games when he is getting 5 turnovers or 17 turnovers total for the team, you know? It's just not going to happen. And this was not a game that New York could afford to throw away, because you go in a 3-1 deficit. It's happened before. I don't think they're going to win it. The Pacers have just seemed so dominant throughout this series. Points off turnovers goes hugely in favor of the Pacers. 9 to 20, 9 to 22 in fast break points. The bench outscored them by 15 points in this one. Benedict Mathurin came in for 12 minutes and gave 20 points. Benedict Mathurin has sucked this whole series so far, right? Has not played good since like the series against the Cavs. He has not been good for them. But man, he showed up. 20 points in 12 minutes is crazy. Another thing I want to bring up here is like, how many times do the Knicks get themselves into these holes of being down early? I feel like every game I've watched, there hasn't been a Knicks first quarter where they've won comfortably. Surely you want to win that first quarter, right? Set the tone for the whole game, but I don't know. Let's get into the rest of the series as a whole, because now this series goes back to the Garden. I think in that game, they will want to come out swinging. I think in that game, everything is on the line. Do I think they'll live much longer past that? No. I think once it gets back to Indiana, the series is wrapped. Indiana will have that home court advantage. That stadium gets loud. And I think that is hard to play against, no matter what team you are, you know. The Knicks, you need to tighten up defensively. I think there are so many miscommunications since the first couple games till now. Awful. Defensively, you are getting picked apart by this Pacers team. And to Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson, I think Charles Barkley put it best on Inside the NBA.
Man, this dude do some of the stupidest stuff on fouls.
Talking about Karl Anthony Towns, who picks up 2 early ones.
Are just stupid.
Yeah. I think that's it. I hope you have a good day. Take good care of yourself. If you're a Knicks fan, if you know a Knicks fan or you are a Knicks fan, take it easy, man. Take it easy. It's tough. But yeah, if you like the video, go ahead and leave it a like. Always appreciate it. If you like that little bit more, subscription is always great. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.